It's Chris, the Dating Doc, and we are continuing. We're continuing our Myers-Briggs series. This one is on ESTP, aka the entrepreneur. Stay tuned. All right, let's get down to it. So, an entrepreneur, ESTP, is someone with the extroverted, observant, thinking, and prospecting personality traits. Again, that's extroverted, observant, thinking, and prospecting personality traits. They tend to be energetic and action-oriented, deftly navigating whatever's in front of them. They love uncovering life's opportunities, whether socializing with others or in more personal pursuits. Well, I gotta love entrepreneur already, right? A quote from Helen Keller, actually, that embodies ESTP, aka entrepreneur. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all, quoted by Helen Keller herself, the miracle worker. Entrepreneurs always have an impact on their immediate surroundings. The best way to spot them at a party is to look for the whirling eddy of people flitting about them as they move from group to group, right? It's kind of that you can just feel the energy. Laughing, entertaining with blunt and earthly humor. Entrepreneur personalities love to be the center of attention. If an audience member is asked to come on stage, entrepreneurs volunteer or they volunteer a shy friend. Theory, abstract concepts, and plotting discussions about global issues and their implications don't keep entrepreneurs interested for long. All right. So these are people that are very much the party starters, right? So even though they're entrepreneurs, as the Myers-Briggs, how can I say, the nickname, doesn't mean that they're always going to be these business execs or those that start up a business venture. So basically, it's kind of hard to keep an entrepreneur interested for long. Entrepreneurs keep their conversation energetic with a good dose of intelligence, but they like to talk about what it is, or better yet, just go out and do it. Entrepreneurs leap before they look, fixing their mistakes as they go rather than sitting idle, preparing contingencies and escape clauses. So here's the thing, you never confuse movement with action. Entrepreneurs are the likeliest personality type to make a lifestyle of risky behavior. It just makes sense, right? Entrepreneurs assume risk, start something new. They live in the moment and dive into the action. They are the eye of the storm. People with the entrepreneur personality type enjoy drama, passion, and pleasure, not for emotional thrills, but because it's so stimulating to their logical minds. They are forced to make critical decisions based on factual, immediate reality and a process of rapid-fire rational stimulus response, which I call intuition, right? Flying out of the seat of your pants. This makes school and other highly organized events a challenge for entrepreneurs. It certainly isn't because they aren't smart and they can do well, but the regimented lecturing approach of formal education is just so far from the hands-on learning that entrepreneurs enjoy. It takes a great deal of maturity to see this process as a necessary means to an end, something that creates more exciting opportunities. Also challenging is that to entrepreneurs, it makes more sense to use their own moral compass than someone else's. Rules were made to be broken. This is a sentiment few high school instructors or corporate supervisors are likely to share and can earn entrepreneur personalities a certain reputation. But if they minimize the troublemaking, harness their energy, and focus to the boring stuff, entrepreneurs are a force to be reckoned with. With perhaps the most perceptive, unfiltered view of any type, entrepreneurs have a unique skill in noticing small changes, whether a shift in facial expression, a new clothing style, or a broken habit. People with this personality type pick up on hidden thoughts and motives, where most types would be lucky to pick up anything specific at all. Entrepreneurs use these observations immediately, calling out the change and asking questions, often with little regard for sensitivity. Entrepreneurs should remember that not everyone wants their secrets and decisions broadcasted. I like this stuff. If entrepreneurs aren't careful enough, they may too be caught in the moment, take things too far and run roughshod over more sensitive people or forget to take care of their own health. Making up only 4% of the population, okay, this is a really rare MBTI, Myers-Briggs type indicator. It's a rare one, only 4% of the population. there are just enough entrepreneurs out there to keep things spicy and competitive, and not so many as to cause a systemic risk. Okay, that makes perfect sense here. Entrepreneurs are full of passion and energy, complemented by rational, if sometimes distracted mind. Inspiring, convincing, and colorful, they are natural group leaders, pulling everyone along the path less traveled, bringing life and excitement everywhere they go. Putting these qualities to a constructive and rewarding end is entrepreneurs' true challenge. So yeah, that was a good little intro to ESTP, aka the entrepreneur. Now let's talk about their strengths and weaknesses. Stay tuned. So what is going on in everyone's world? Let's talk real quick before I get into all the goodness that is ESTP, which is the entrepreneur personality type, one that I would say I'm not completely because I am an ENFJ, but resonates with me because heck, I'm an entrepreneur, and yeah, sometimes I like to just do things out of nowhere, and who cares about the risk or who cares about the rules? So what's going on in the life of Chris, the dating doc? Well, we are coming back to doing events. I'm pretty excited. Located here in San Antonio, and we're going to start up with another speed dating event. That's always the easy one, right? Oh, excuse me. You heard the little phone, the little ping. So we, when we think of dating events, we always think of speed dating, right? And I've done this for years, so it's almost like an injustice for me. I'm always like, oh my gosh, this is all they know. If only they knew the creativity that I had behind some of these events. But it has to be marketable. It has to be something that people can digest and understand. So yeah, we're going to have our first speed dating event. This will be about a month from now, August 13th, at a nice little Mexican bar, upscale Mexican bar called Cerveceria 88. And yeah, that's the cheap plug right there, I guess, right? Now, the thing with speed dating is I think it's always going to beat out the apps. The apps have been so saturated. You know, I've been on Bumble, I've been on Tinder, which is just blah. Been on Hinge, Match, and I've had the most success, believe it or not, with Bumble, just because it kind of meets that XY of quality and quantity. But then when you have women having to start the conversation, then it's really easy for them to filter. But Bumble has gotten real basic recently. I feel like every single message, instead of it referencing my profile or something witty or whatever, it's hey. Almost every damn time, hey. Just one word, one 3-letter word, hey. And I get kind of tired of that. You know, I'm like, man, okay, do y'all know that all of y'all are doing the same thing? You know, is that part of our like behavioral economics where we've kind of become these basic, boring ones? And you know the funny part of it? There's some female listeners right now that are pissed off at me because I'm saying this. And somehow they're going to equate it to being a man's fault. But no, I need to just stop with the boring hey. That's it, okay? For the men, shoot, we know we're not perfect. Still talking about the same old stuff. Hey, send me news, whatever. I got that. But since I'm a dude, this is my podcast. I'm on the receiving end of what? Bumble females. Guess who initiates? Bumble females. So when all of a sudden they're on that hey stuff, yeah, I can talk about that. Anyways, just want to make sure that I mention my detractors there. So let's get down to it. Hope you guys are doing well, guys and gals. Yes, I mean both. And stay tuned. Now we're going to talk about the strengths and weaknesses of an ESTP. Now, as I do this series, it's important for you to take these mental notes in case you take a quiz or you have someone you're interested in. Take a quiz on what their Myers-Briggs is. It can be one of the longer personality assessments, or it can be one of the short 5 to 10 minutes that gives them a fairly accurate read on what one of 16 personality types they fall into, or officially the MBTI, which is their Myers-Briggs type indicator. So let's get down to it. So they are bold. ESTPs are bold. People of the entrepreneur personality type are full of life and energy. There is no greater joy for entrepreneurs than pushing boundaries and discovering and using new things and ideas. Rational and practical. Entrepreneurs love knowledge and philosophy, but not for their own sake. What's fun for entrepreneur personalities is finding ideas that are actionable and drilling into the details so they can put them to use. If a discussion is completely arbitrary, there are better uses for entrepreneurs' time. They love being original. Combining their boldness and practicality, entrepreneurs love to experiment with new ideas and solutions. They put things together in ways no one else would think to. Perceptive. This originality is helped by entrepreneurs' ability to notice when things change and when they need to change. Small shifts in habits and appearances stick out to entrepreneurs, and they use these observations to help create connections with others. Very direct. This perceptive skill isn't used for mind games. Entrepreneurs prefer to communicate clearly with direct and factual questions and answers. Things are what they are. And this was an obvious one. They're sociable. All these qualities pull together to make a natural group leader in entrepreneurs. This isn't something that they actively seek. People with this personality type just have a knack for making excellent use of social interactions and networking opportunities. Okay, kind of person you want next to you if you're at a chamber of commerce, if you're at a networking event, you're at somewhere where it definitely means something to have an ESTP, aka entrepreneur, in your corner. Now, their weaknesses: insensitive. Okay, and a lot of this is inverse to what the strengths are. Feelings and emotions come second to facts and reality for entrepreneurs. Emotionally charged situations are awkward, uncomfortable affairs, and entrepreneurs' blunt honesty doesn't help here. These personalities often have a lot of trouble acknowledging and expressing their own feelings as well, which goes into being impatient. Entrepreneurs move at their own pace to keep themselves excited. Slowing down because someone else doesn't get it or having to stay focused on a single detail for too long is extremely challenging for entrepreneurs. Risk prone. This impatience can lead to entrepreneurs to push into uncharted territory without thinking of the long-term consequences. Keep that in mind when we talk about relationships. Entrepreneur personalities sometimes intentionally combat boredom with extra risk. Unstructured, which goes hand in hand with that. Entrepreneurs see opportunity to fix a problem, to advance and to have fun, and seize a moment, often ignoring rules and social expectations in the process. This may get things done, but it can create unexpected social fallout. They may miss the bigger picture. Living in the moment can cause entrepreneurs to miss the forest for the trees. People with this personality type love to solve problems here and now, perhaps a little bit too much. All parts of a project can be perfect, but the project will still fail if those parts do not fit together. And defiant. Entrepreneurs won't be boxed in. Repetition, hardline rules, sitting quietly while they're lectured at. This is not how entrepreneurs want to live their lives. They are action-oriented and hands-on. Environments like school and much entry-level work can be so tedious that they're intolerable, requiring extraordinary effort from the entrepreneurs to stay focused long enough to get to freer positions. Look, I have the same issue here when it comes with the military. I embody some of that ESTP mentality, entrepreneur mentality. I mean, heck, you're listening to me right now because, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I have a passion for what I do, but yes, I'm a businessman. I like to take risks. I like to push the boundaries and not totally be boxed into a label, especially since I alluded to the fact of military. But I have seen this issue where at times, if I'm not careful and I don't practice self-awareness, one of the 4 components of emotional intelligence, but I digress, then I'm completely bored and numb. So it's important for me to be able to be in dynamic environments, even if I'm sometimes in a very structured environment like the military. All right, let's get into the good stuff, which is romantic relationships and the ESTP. Stay tuned. When it comes to romantic relationships, people with the entrepreneur personality type can hardly be said to be pining away for their wedding day. Life is fun and full of surprises, something entrepreneurs have a particular skill in delivering, and they enjoy it all in the here and now. Entrepreneurs may not spend a lot of time planning for someday, quote unquote, wedding day, marriage, but their enthusiasm and unpredictability makes them thrilling dating partners. So here's a little quote here. Entrepreneurs' relationships are far from boring. Their improvised style creates a seemingly never-ending list of activities and hobbies to be involved in, and entrepreneurs fully encourage their partners to partake. Entrepreneurs love new ideas and the occasional philosophical discussion, but they need to be topics that can be explored through action together, not just idle talk. There's musing about the causes and effects of epidemic obesity, and then there's training for a marathon together to promote healthy living, right? So don't talk about it, be about it. As good as spring itself. Sexually, entrepreneurs have no real reservations. It's fun, it's physically enjoyable, new ideas are always welcome, and entrepreneur personalities' strong perceptions keep them well tuned to their partner's needs. However, entrepreneur separation of the physical act from the more emotional and spiritual connections that many other types look for when it comes to intimacy can be a serious source of tension, especially if everyone is not on the same page. Some types need sex to be a general expression of love. Entrepreneurs just aren't one of them. As time passes, it can be challenging for entrepreneurs to move their relationships to deeper, more emotionally intimate levels. Easily bored, people with the entrepreneur personality type seek constant excitement, sometimes even intentionally exposing themselves to risk if they feel stuck. If their partners aren't able to keep up, entrepreneurs may just end up looking for someone new. It's not that entrepreneur personalities are unfaithful. Rather, they just think to themselves, this isn't working, so why should I pretend it is? Entrepreneurs are rational and can exercise self-control if they choose, but being as charming and as popular as they are, it can be sometimes a little bit easy to move on. Travel only with those you love. As with any relationship, it takes work and patience. Not every day can be a thrill by a minute, but entrepreneurs are adaptable, curious individuals, which certainly helps to keep the flame burning. Maintaining healthy relationships is the ultimate chance for entrepreneurs to exercise their talents and perceiving every change in their partner's mood and behavior, while also using their problem-solving abilities to address their needs. Entrepreneurs can also strengthen more neglected traits like emotional sensitivity and long-term planning. So that was pretty good. That was shorter than most of the ones I've done. Now we're going to go ahead and quickly conclude ESTP, aka the entrepreneur. So in conclusion, few personality types are as charming and attractive as entrepreneurs. Known for their ability to improvise and focus completely on the present, entrepreneurs are great at finding exciting new things to explore and experience. Entrepreneurs' creativity and down-to-earth attitude are invaluable in many areas, including their own personal growth. Yet, entrepreneurs can easily be tripped up in situations where their focus on practical matters is more of a liability than an asset. Whether it is finding or keeping a partner, reaching dazzling heights on the career ladder, or learning to plan ahead, entrepreneurs need to put in a conscious effort to develop their weaker traits and additional skills. So yeah, what you got right now, it's just an introduction to the complex concept that is the entrepreneur personality type. You may have muttered to yourself, wow, is this so it's so accurate, it's a little creepy, or finally someone understands me. Okay, it's not a trick. You felt understood because you were. Okay, we have now talked about how entrepreneurs think and what they need or what you need to reach your full potential. No, we didn't spy on you. Simply learning and having you learn how to succeed. So yeah, make sure that you have a roadmap. You know, if you're an entrepreneur or you're dating an entrepreneur, understand, hey, this ESTP trait, they kind of go off on their own. They like to make their own ideas. They may not care about my feelings too much, but they actually care. It's just the way that they communicate it, and they get bored easily. So I need to make sure I'm able to navigate through that. So just something to think about if you are an ESTP or dating an ESTP. Hope you enjoyed it. We got plenty of more. I think this is the 4th or 5th one. We still got a bunch more of Myers-Briggs type indicators to discuss. So this is Chris, the Dating Doc, signing out. Peace.